Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Geddes Federal Savings and Loan and Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome back and welcome in. You've got us on the weekends. Who do you got? It's Tom and Steve from The Local Show. We're not only here on your radio, but we are also on YouTube, so you can view us there and view the guests and see what it's like as we record over here at the Geddes Federal Savings and Loan Studios and Safe Harbor Wills and Trust Studios here at Zoey Advertising. We did a little live action over at the home show. That was pretty fun, huh, Steve?
That was a lot of work, Tom.
Yeah, Steve. I told you it would be.
That was a lot of work. So we were over there 3 days. We brought over the all the stuff, and it was fun. And we got to meet a lot of people. It really was fun. People come up. We listen to Local Show. We listen to Local Show. We listen to Local Show. And we heard that dozens and dozens of times. And
really?
even better.
I heard that they listened to Bob Lonsberry, but
they probably listen to Bob too. The best part was, and we do business with, and they made a list.
That I heard.
Okay,
yeah, that
with Geddes,
mattress makers,
Geddes and Safe Harbor and mattress makers, and Prime Heating and Air and a bunch of others that they got. Dr. Anzalone, different ones, so they feel like they can trust them, that they've come to know them. Which was our thought, Wick, 4 years.
Yeah,
4 years, Tom. It was 4 years.
We don't endorse. It's not like we're endorsing and doing a big infomercial for people. No. We're just basically talking to people and getting the general listener to understand where they came from, what their story is, and, then they make up their mind. Hey, this person sounds like somebody I want to do business with.
Correct.
Now, here's somebody that I'm just not sure that I want to do business with her yet. It's Laurie Simpson, Director of Development at Hospice of Central New York and the Finger Lakes. How are you, Laurie?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Now, we also talk to, obviously, civic organizations and nonprofits. So we want everyone to know what's going on around the community, and you're it.
Yeah, no, thank you. You know, what you're speaking of with what you were advertising at the home show is word of mouth is huge. You're for all of us. I mean, nowadays, especially with all the different options. So business and in the field that I work in and what we do too, word of mouth is number one as far as people understanding the impact that it can be making and them reaching out to us.
And I always say, gosh, she's an upbeat lady, and to be in that business.
Tom's been prepping for hospice his whole life.
Yes, I know.
Every time he goes to...
Which is really sad, but that's me. How did you get involved? Like, what did you do before hospice?
I have worked in fundraising and development at colleges, so I loved the concept of helping out nonprofits.
Okay.
And I also health and wellness, which is an interesting thing, but wellness and healing and all of that stuff. I did massage therapy for a while.
Oh, that's right. You got the magic hands.
That's right. Okay. So when I relocated back to this area, hospice was one of the agencies that I was very interested in personally. Okay. And so, and I happened to have a position, and I've been there for over 8 years now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So tell me, what's the difference between this hospice and palliative care? Are those two different terminologies?
They are. It kind of blends a little bit, but more that palliative care is a little bit more long-term. When somebody is in our hospice program, usually when they're admitted, it's about a 6-month prognosis of life.
It's imminent.
It's really imminent.
Okay.
And obviously hospices provide a different, depends on the palliative care that they're getting, but hospice is particularly focused on the holistic approach to helping the patient and the family through the process. And there's a lot that goes along with that, as you can imagine.
And what's the house, I can't remember the name of it this very second, that does hospice?
So Francis House.
Francis House. I want to call it Joseph's house. I knew it was somebody's house.
Francis Joseph.
Francis. So are they Are they hospice? Are they not hospice? Part of hospice? Where does one start and another end?
Yeah, good question. Francis House is a separate entity, but we, as hospice, provide the care there for the patients. I mean, obviously, Francis House has other people that are helping out and volunteers and that sort of thing. But our nursing care, social work, we have people that are actually designated to go there and work with the patients and families that are at Francis House.
Are there any other organizations that do what you do? Do you compete against anybody, or is it? I always just think of hospice.
Great question, and I'm glad, because that's an important part. There are different agencies that are doing more, palliative care and haven't secured like the hospice, New York State coding and that sort of thing. So so really it's us. We cover Onondaga, Oswego, Madison, and Cayuga counties. So we're quite large.
Tom has a question. It's about your golf tournament, because those things are really important to Tom. So tell us about your golf tournament.
Great. Thank you. This is exciting this year. This will be our 25th anniversary of our Hospice Golf Open. And this year we actually changed locations. We're going to be at that beautiful world-renowned Cavalry Club so it's a private club.
Yeah.
It's in Manlius, and it's on Monday, June 12th. So we're thrilled about that, to be able, for golfers and organizations to get a chance to play on that course.
That means nothing to Tom, but
Tom, I've gigged up to Cavalry Club.
See, okay.
He's gigged. Tom, that golf course is spectacular.
Yes.
Is it really? I didn't know it was that special.
And some of the best fishing on a golf course in New York State, because you've got the creek that goes behind.
Limestone. Yeah, sure.
And then you've got the ponds. There's bass in the ponds, and there's trout in the creek. Yeah. And not that I've ever maybe.
And it's in
maybe ever
beautiful downtown Manlius.
No, it is lovely, and they do a really nice job up there.
Yeah, they actually did a lot of upgrading the course itself that recently too. So they're really wanting more people to have the opportunity to see it and be part of the.
And if people wanted to participate, is the info and registration at hospicecny.org?
Yes, it is.
So they could be a sponsor. They could put a team together.
Absolutely.
They could be a sponsor and put a team together.
That's even better. Okay. I love that we have different opportunities, exclusive opportunities as sponsors and playing opportunities. It's
very nice.
We're really taking advantage of this. We're excited. And all proceeds benefit the patients and families that we care for.
Excellent. That was one of my questions too. Other than the golf tournament, how do you engage with the community and raise awareness about hospice care and the services? What other ways?
Yeah, great question too. We actually, any chance we get to speak to the public or a community organization that wants to learn more about it or share more information, if we can get someone there, we're there. We offer for businesses what we would call a Hospice 101, which is nice to go in and talk to them about what hospice services are and how it all works.
Now, why would a business want that? Why would
for their employees? I mean, ultimately, deep long term, family members that are caregivers that are actively working, are taking care of people that are in this situation.
Yeah, that's true.
So, or not knowing what the options are. So we actually, it's helpful for the business itself. So that people are having the more support that they need.
What role do volunteers play in your organization?
A huge role. We have people that are family caregivers that actually are trained for about a 5-week program, and they go in and sit with patients and help out and do errands and that sort of thing. We have people that work in the office, and we also have people that serve on event like fundraising committees and that sort of thing to just overall take care of.
So real briefly, still looking for nurses?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a real challenge tough. All over, And that does affect if we don't have the nurses and the social workers that we need to provide, we have to limit our ability.
Right.
Not saying that, I mean, we're a little bit lower than what we've been in the past, but it pushes a lot on everyone. So
at hospicecny.org, it's all there. Right?
It is right across the top menu. There's a careers tab that you can look at.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, Laurie, once again, it's wonderful talking to you. Laurie Simpson, Director of Development at Hospice of Central New York and the Finger Lakes. You have a great rest of the day, okay?
And you too. Thank you so much, you guys.
Coming up next, the owners of the Cake Bar, Yeen and Ivory, will be right here on The Local Show on 570 WSYR.